Well, I have some bad, shocking news to tell you about. I'm talking about these two people who had passed away back in December of 2024, which is Britt Allcroft and Jimmy Carter. So let's start with Britt Allcroft first. And if you don't know who Britt Allcroft really is, she's the one who made Thomas. And this is for all the Thomas the Tank Engine and friends, and the other one for the President of the United States. So yeah. And this video for everyone who remembered Jimmy Carter and Britt Allcroft only, that is. So yeah. So if you don't know who Britt Allcroft really is, she's the one who made the TV series of Thomas. I don't know what to say about it, but she does make Thomas. He's the one who created Thomas the Tank Engine, who, well, in the TV series, that is, not like the books. Originally, who made by the books was probably died in the 90s, but Britt Allcroft passed away in 2024. So yeah. Yeah, Britt Allcroft had passed away, and she's the Thomas the Tank. She's the one who made Thomas. This fails for all the Thomas the Tank Engine fans. Yeah. And I remember Thomas the Tank Engine since my childhood. And I remember I have some Thomas DVDs. I remember Thomas the Tank Engine. They have the original classic Thomas the Tank Engine, and they have the classic Thomas, like the model Thomas from the 80s or 90s or 2000 or 2002, and the newer model ones like Michael Brandon, which I know the U.S. narrations on Thomas the Tank Engine, besides Britt Allcroft, would be George Carlin, which I know George Carlin had passed away, Alec Baldwin, and Michael Brandon, except the last version. And I can't remember the other narrations in the UK, but I know there's one narration I know, which is the first narration on the UK version of Thomas, was Ringo Starr. Yeah, Ringo Starr did the narration in the original version of Thomas. Ringo Starr is the original version of the first originally narrator in the original UK, but in the US version originally it was George Carlin. And I do like George Carlin, but I do like Alec Baldwin, because I like Alec Baldwin. Because I know Alec Baldwin did the Thomas the Tank Engine, but that's only on season 5 and 6 in the movie called Thomas and the Magic Railroad. And I know Britt Allcroft did voice of Lady in Thomas and the Magic Railroad. I know Britt Allcroft did that movie called Thomas and the Magic Railroad and the Thomas and Friends. Yeah, Britt Allcroft made so many Thomas stuff, and the model Thomas and stuff like that. So yeah. Yeah, I usually don't do rip videos. I don't really do that. I know Dan Sobel and New Yorker Scythe does, but I usually don't do that. So yeah. I only do that just for all the Thomas fans. So yeah. Yeah, Britt Allcroft is sadly missed. So well, I'm not sure if I'll take a moment of silence, but yeah. So she may rest in peace, Britt Allcroft. Alright. Now let's move on to another person named Jimmy Carter, which I know there's a lot of people made these rip videos of Jimmy Carter though. So if you don't know who Jimmy Carter really is, he was the President of the United States, and he was which I saw that on TV about the Jimmy Carter funeral, because, well, I'm glad he was a centenarian, because he was 100 years old when he passed away. Yeah, he was because he was born in October of 1924 and he passed away in December of 2024. Yeah. Yeah, he already made it 100, which that's good news. But he is. Oh yeah, I remember Ella Jenkins and Jimmy Carter had passed away at the age of 100. So yeah. I remember Ella Jenkins has passed away at the age of 100 too, but that was before Jimmy Carter. So yeah. And Jimmy Carter was the president of the United States, I believe, in the late 70s and the early 80s, which I know when I was born, it was George Bush, and recently I think is Joe Biden, I believe. I'm not sure Donald Trump anymore, but yeah. But I do know that Jimmy Carter had passed away, but he was the first president who already turned 100 years old. Like yeah, he's a centenarian. Yeah. Like, I remember New Yorker side being that exciting reaction when people have turned 100, but only if he's still alive. Or what he said would have been 100 if people have passed away. Like, yeah. Yeah, Jimmy Carter has already been dead right now. So's Britt, Allcroft, and Ella Jenkins. Well, this video I'm not talking about Ella Jenkins. I was talking about Britt, Allcroft, and Jimmy Carter. Yeah, Jimmy Carter had passed away. Jimmy Carter was the president of the United States, and Britt Allcroft, who did Thomas the Tank Engine, who made Thomas and Friends. So yeah, so rip Britt Allcroft, and so is Jimmy Carter and Ella Jenkins. Which that Ella Jenkins part would have been a bonus, because Ella Jenkins had passed away, and so is Mr. Magneoscope when he passed away 4 years ago. So yeah. Which I remember I did the anniversary video of Passed Away, which is Mr. Magneoscope, because he's a YouTuber who does VCRs. So yeah. So rip Britt Allcroft, Jimmy Carter, and Ella Jenkins. Well, Ella Jenkins and Jimmy Carter were both centenarians when are both 100 when they passed away. So yeah. And Britt Allcroft was only 81, and she was the same year when my grandmother was born, and I know when people I know there's a lot. I remember, so she was born the same year when my grandmother was born. So yeah. I don't remember when Britt Allcroft's birthday, but when I look up, it just says 1943 only. It doesn't say the birthday, sadly. Maybe she doesn't want to tell when their birthday. Maybe that's why. Well, she is already dead anyway, so yeah. Like, Britt Allcroft already been dead right now, and Jimmy Carter passed away. Well, Britt Allcroft passed away first, then Jimmy Carter. So yeah. I remember I saw that video of that funeral about the Jimmy Carter's death, and the funeral I saw on TV on Merit about the funeral part. Yeah. Because I know they did the funeral of Jimmy Carter's death. So yeah. In 2025 of this year. So yeah. So yeah, rest in peace to Britt, Allcroft, and Jimmy Carter. Thanks for watching.